So friends, if you have a Weber Q model or you're interested in getting a Weber Q model, you're going to want to check out this video. Now this one here is about 13 years old. I just went to last week Amazon and picked up a bunch of parts to rebuild it and restore it to its former glory. I think it turned out pretty darn good. And also I did some modifications to this, and I'm testing out some grill plates and stuff like that. So be a cool video for anybody that's interested in one of these or has one or wants to learn about it. This particular one here is a Q1200. Like I said, it is about well, I know it's a 2013 model. Look at those grill marks. So right now I'm cooking a ribeye on here, a baked potato and some corn. But I also, earlier this weekend, I did some eggs on a grill plate that we bought, and also some sausage and some hamburgers to try out the different plates and the different results that I got. So check out this video. First we're going to go ahead and do the rebuild so you can see where I started. Now, disclaimer, all right, that's my little storage shed right there. I left the lid open and it rained on all my tools, so in some of this video you're going to see stuff scattered all over the place. That's because I had to drag everything out of there, dry it out, and put it back in. So that was kind of going on in the background. So if you see a bunch of stuff, don't think I got a junkyard going on here. It's just that is what I had. And that is my knife sharpening cart that I'm building right there. So disregard that too. Let's focus on the grill and these. Look at that beautiful ribeye cooking on that grill grate. All right, let's go ahead and get on with the video. This, like I said, is a 2013 model Weber Q1200. Now they still make these. I don't know what the current model is, but it looks pretty much the same. You can get them in different colors, but it's basically a little compact little tailgating grill that Weber put out. It's really cool. Okay, it's got a clamshell cast aluminum housing. It's got a couple little plastic shelves that fold up when you're not using it. It comes with these cast iron enamel coated grates, and like I said, 2013, these held up pretty well. And it is also a single burner. It's got a control knob up under there, and it's got an electronic ignition, which I'm missing the button right there. Now, it also runs off of these little 1-pound liquid propane canisters. Does a really nice job. You get quite a few cooks out of those. I really liked it. The reason I stopped using it, like I said, overall I really did like this, and it does a great job. But these grills were kind of difficult to clean. The way they're designed, if you see, there is no deflector between the propane tube and the grill grates. So they designed into the grate kind of a protector so that the grease doesn't drip straight onto the propane tube. And it just made them kind of hard to clean. I would actually soak these like overnight in the sink and scrub on them, and it just got so difficult. I got tired of cleaning the grate every time. Now I'm sure they make little protector foil things you can put on here, but those things get kind of expensive, and I just kind of got away from using this little grill. But other than that, it was really handy and I liked it, and it cooked good. It cooked a steak, hot dog, hamburgers, kebabs, all that stuff really well. All right, but this is an awesome little grill. And the reason I'm breaking it out today is I kind of got interested into the Blackstone griddles, you know, that you see advertised all over. They're the big fad right now. And TikTok showed one on there, a little 17-inch grill for $49. I got suckered into whipping out my credit card and ordering that, but it never showed up. You know, I was so stoked I was going to start cooking. All these things I was going to make on the little Blackstone 17-inch griddle. I went and bought bacon, eggs, all that, and waited week after week after week, and it just never came. I went to PayPal, got my money back after 6 weeks. It was just a scam. But when I went back to Blackstone to see how much to really get one of those little 17-inch, they're like 150 bucks, 125 to $150. I said, screw that. I already have this. So what I've done is I ordered off of Amazon. They're not delivered yet. I ordered the flat griddle plates that go in here, and I want to try those out. So I didn't get the single one. I got the 2 individual ones with the drain holes. So we're going to replace these with those, test them out, see how they perform compared to these. Now, another thing that's going to be really cool that I want to try out in this video is when I bought that Rectech Bullseye, I got a set of these grill grates. All right, these are just universal grill grates. It looks like I used this one time. I don't really remember if it cooked good or not, but if I did cook on that, it was on the Rectech and not on this. And I'm looking at these two, and if I join them, I got just enough here that I could replace these with these grill grates. So what I'm going to do, I have to trim the corners off to make them fit, but they definitely will. So what I want to do is, in this video, we're going to go ahead and clean up the grill. We're going to repair the ignition. We are going to replace that bottle with something better. I got that bag full of parts, that box right there, and this box right here. And I still got 2 more Amazon packages coming. And all that is going to kind of upgrade this grill, and we're going to check out these upgrades, see if they're any better, to where we can make this 2013 Weber Q1200 up to date to 2025 standards. All right, and you can see what my mods do, if they're any good or if they're any bad. That way you don't waste your money either. All right, so first thing I want to do is, my dad gave me some of this stuff right here, this grill cleaner. And I think he gets it at Sam's Club. He says it's the best stuff, and it does work real good. I'm down to my last bottle. He gave me a 3-pack, so I'm going to have to call up Dad and say, hey, give me some more of that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray this down and let it soak real good, and we're going to clean out everything inside and out. We're going to replace the burner with a new burner I got. Try to clean up everything, top, bottom. Now, I do not want to repaint this, okay? I know that you can get paint for it and paint it any color you want, but I'll tell you right now, I painted quite a few smokers and stuff like that, and nothing's ever going to look as good as this. I'm going to try to restore this if I can. It looks in pretty good shape, And one more thing, let me say something about Weber real quick. It doesn't matter how old a Weber you have, you can still get parts for it. These things are made to last, and they stock parts forever for these things. So if you're going to invest in a barbecue grill, pay a little bit more for a Weber. They are definitely worth the upgrade. All right, I'm going to start cleaning on this, and I'll just do a little time lapse, show you a couple things I do, and replace the parts in it real quick. I'll tell you about that as I replace the parts, and then we're going to do some cooking. I got some hamburgers, I got corn, I got baked potato, I got a steak, and some other stuff. And we're going to try this out this weekend, cooking, well, basically all my meals will be cooked on this little thing. So I need to get it cleaned up and ready to cook, all right? I'll be back with you in just shortly. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and replace this burner right here. It's the original one. It's seen a lot of cooks. It held up very well. As you can see, it's stainless steel. It didn't rust through, but a lot of the holes are clogged up. And for about 20 bucks, you can get a brand new burner off of Amazon, and that's what I did. So we're just going to take this bolt right here and take that out. And the burner actually came with a new bolt with it. So we'll replace that, and that'll make it easier for us to clean the inside of this little barbecue up. Now, another thing we're going to do is replace this ignition right here for the burner. So we flip this little barbecue upside down, and we just push in on that and turn it sideways and pull that out like that. That just locks into there. And these right here, we just pull those out like that. We can toss this, get rid of that. Flip the little grill back over, open it up, and there's our ignition. And we got a new one of these, so that's going too. So now we got a stripped down housing. If we want to take, well, let's just go ahead and take it out. We want to take the thermostat off. We can just unscrew this right here and then close the lid and take that off like that. Alright, so we sprayed it all down completely, inside and out. Inside and out. Let it soak for a little bit. Spray these grates. Do the back side first. And you can see how quick that stuff starts dissolving, all that grease and stuff on there. Okay. Does a pretty good job. Alright, so this is what we're looking like after the first scrub. I'll say it's cleaning up pretty good. Look at that. We're going to go a second time and get all the stuff I didn't scrub real good. But man, that thing is cleaning up really good. That is some good stuff. Let's check out the grates after the first scrub. Y'all saw how bad they are, and they're actually looking pretty good. Still got some on there. Probably going to take 2 or 3 sprays. But, you know, I just sprayed it on, and I took the scrub brush, and I went over it one time. And that's how it turned up, and then I rinsed it off. So I'll probably have to do it 2 or 3 times each side. And definitely going to do this another time to get the rest of all that junk out of there. Alright, so see you in a minute. And the burner just goes in there nice and easy like this. It's got to line up with the part there, and these holes have to line up. So easy peasy. We get this back in there. Run it in with the impact. And clean up the wires. And we're done. And we're ready to fire this baby up. Alright, we got our igniter in. We got our new burner. And got a fresh 1-pound bottle on there. We'll go ahead and turn this to start. And I heard it start. Let's see if we see any flame. Yeah, there's a little bit of flame. Not a whole lot though, is there? Well, we might not be able to see a flame, but we sure can tell that that temperature is coming right on up. Alright, and I can feel it. It is getting hot in there. So that burner is working pretty good. Let's go ahead and go over there and get our grates that we cleaned up. As you can see, they cleaned up real nice. And these things, like I said, this is a 2013 little Weber Q, and these are the original grates, and I've cooked a lot of stuff off of these, and they've held up very well. No rust on them, no chicks, no nicks, no nothing. And look at that, already at what, 500 degrees. Let's go ahead and get these grill plates back in here, because we're going to start with these. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and just go ahead and season them too. Alright, now we can see the flames, that's for sure, huh? Okay, let's just go ahead and let that cook for a little bit to burn off any soap residue, anything else I got, and just season real good. Alrighty, as you can see, the way it sits on that table, even though that's a plastic style picnic table, it's not going to have any problems at all. Alright, so just a few minutes later, and we have the little Weber Q, born in 2013, looking nice and new again, inside and out. Let's see how these knockwursts are doing. Oh yeah, nice and crispy the way I like them. Alright, let me go get something, pull those off. I'm going to eat some lunch. We're still waiting for the grill pans to come from Amazon. Hopefully they'll be delivered very shortly. So I finally got one of my griddles here. Amazon says that the second one is still en route. Might not get that one till tomorrow. But what I did notice that you know, it's cast iron. It's not enamel coated. That's good news. That's not what I wanted. But it is a little rough here. So what I've decided to do is take my angle grinder, and I have some 120 grit flapper discs for it. And I'm going to hit that with it and try to smooth it out some before I season it. Let's see what happens. If I screw it up, I'll just have to buy another one, right? Let's see what it looks like here in a minute. Alright, let's fire this baby up. Supposed to open the lid every time. Our new ignition and burner tube fired right up. I can already feel the heat coming off of it. So let's go ahead and just set that on there like that. And we're going to let it dry up just a little bit before we put our first coat of oil on there. So I'm going to go ahead and close this and let it start coming to temp. Alright, so this here is the bottom side, and the way you can tell is you got some numbers in there, so that would be a problem cleaning that, and plus the drain holes, they have a lip on them right there. Okay, so that wouldn't drain very good if you had that side up. As you can see, the water is evaporating. It is almost dry. I'm going to give it just another minute or so, and then we're going to flip it over. And then you can check out that smooth side. Alright, but it's almost there. I just want to get all that moisture off of that. Let me close it for a minute. Let it get good and hot. See how it looks. Yeah. Now this is the side I sanded, and as you can tell, it's a lot smoother than the other side. Still got some moisture right there. Let's let it dry up good before we season it. Alright, so we've let it sit here for, I don't know, about 350 for a little bit, and make sure we got all the moisture back out of our plate. Looks good, and as you can see that bottom side, how rough and scratchy it is? Let's turn it over real quick. See how much smoother that is now that I sanded it? You can tell it in the way it sounds. Alright, let's go ahead and get some cooking oil on here. Flip that over. Let's get the other side. Woohoo! Alright. Let that cook on there for a little bit. Good stuff, right? Alright, now some people will say, well, John, what you should have done is let that cool down. And I understand, yeah, the metal cooler down, it won't sear and caramelize on the top and let it soak a little deeper into the pores of the steel. But I don't know, it's not like it burned it off. It's still kind of wet right there. So I think having it nice and hot and the metal fully expanded, because the hotter it is, the more expanded it'll be, I think it'll allow the oil down into the pores deeper that way. Okay, it's not like I had it up at 600 degrees or something. It was only at, I don't know, 350 or so, probably less than that, probably 300. So we'll see how it turns out. We'll see how it cooks. Proof will be on the pudding, right? All right, let's let that do its thing, and hopefully our other grill plate will show up soon. But while we got that grill grate seasoning in there, let's go ahead and check out something else I got for the grill. All right, so these are what fuel the little Weber 1200, is these little 1 pound propane tanks, and they're usually about $7, $8 a piece. I think at Ace this morning you could get 2 for $14, or 1 was $9.99. So they're kind of expensive, you know, 1 pound of propane. You get quite a few cooks out of them, though, I will say that. But when you're in the middle of your last cook and that propane bottle goes out on you, it kind of sucks. So what I did was, check this out, little 5 pound liquid propane tank, huh? Is that cool or what? All right, so that's 5 of those 1 pounders right there. Nice, light, easy to carry. Don't weigh much at all. But what you got to do is you got to get this hose right here. All right, by Weber. They had it at Ace, and it's not cheap. That plus filling that tank right there was almost $100. But I think it's going to be worth it in the long run. Let's see how long this hose is. Okay, so yeah, it's I'd say it's about 6 foot. So you'll be able to plug it into your grill and have that tank down on the floor somewhere out of the way, you know, underneath the picnic table. So that makes it handy too. Takes up a little less footprint up top. So what I probably end up doing is seeing if they make a quick connect for this end to where I don't have to sit there and screw it in each time. But that's what we got right now. And that's not such a big deal, screwing that in. So maybe I won't. But either way, pretty cool, huh? Alright, so I got a couple burgers here, about 1/3 pound burgers, and 2 little thin sliced pork chops, nice and thin. And I seasoned them with this Weber Gourmet Burger. I picked this up at Publix today. First time trying it out. I'll let you know what I think. Alright, so let's go put these on the grill. We're going to put 1 on the griddle and 1 on the original grill and see how easy they are to cook and see which one we like better. Alright, we have our Weber ready to rock and roll here. We have the griddle to the left, the grill to the right, and we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and put a pork chop on the left and a pork chop on the right, and we'll do a nice burger on the left and a nice burger on the right. Okay, now that gives you a good idea of how much food a Weber Q will hold. So you really can't do much more. I mean, you could probably fit another burger in there if you scooted it over and more pork chops, but it really is about a 2 or 3 person capable little portable tailgater. Now if you're doing hot dogs, yeah, you could do, you know, probably 20 hot dogs on here. But that looks out pretty good. Burner's doing good. Let's just Yeah, we can see our flame adjust. That's low, that's high. So yeah, that new burner's looking nice. Now what I want to show you after we get done cooking here is this grate right here is going to get dirty, and that's what we want to test. Now also, picked this up while I was at Ace Hardware, little handy little scraper spatula. It's kind of sharpened at the edge. I think it's more for use with like the black stones and stuff, but should work good with that. And it's pretty sturdy. If I wanted to do a smash burger, I could do that. But these things look like they're cooking pretty nice, don't they? And I got the lid up. Alright, we're going to give those a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and close the lid, and I need to go get a clean plate to put the food back on. Alright? See you in a minute. Alright, so I was gone just long enough to wash that plate. Everything looks like it's cooking real good. Let's go ahead and turn our pork chops and see how they're doing. Okay, nice grill marks on that one. Oh, yeah, that's what I like to see. Look at that. So that's our pork chops. Alright, let's go ahead and do our burgers here. Okay, so that burger got some nice grill marks on it right there, huh? But you got a flame up going on. Oh, look how charred that one is. Now this one got one heck of a flame going up. So that is another problem. So I'm going to go ahead and move that on over here. So we will not be seeing the burger, because if I leave it there, this what, 80-20 or whatever I got here, ground chuck, it's got a lot of fat to it. You can see it puddling, so it's just going to have too much flame up over there. We're not going to have that flame up with this griddle. The fat should be going right down into these drain holes right here, but I don't have it quite level. So that is another thing to think about if you're going to be cooking a lot, is making sure it's tilted to where it can put the grease towards the drain hole. Alright, so looks like we're going to change things up a little bit. Let's go ahead and move this pork chop on over here. Alright, and that'll be nice. So now we got a burger here, burger here. Those are going to have a nice charring to them. I like that. And it's pork chops. Now, some of y'all are not going to like the way I do this, but I like my little thin cut pork chops well done. I like them almost on the crispy side. Same with my burgers. I like those well done. So let's close this for a minute and just give it probably what, another like a minute closed, and everything should be done. Alright, so it's been about a minute. I went in and grabbed a couple burger buns. I don't have any cheese to go on there. Let's see how these are doing. Yep, these are nice. And they're about done. And I think our burgers, that's about as done as they need to be. Alright, so let's just move our pork chops on over here. Like that. Because what I want to do is, I want to go ahead and take and toast my buns. Alright. Alright. Let's get a little bit more brown on there. Okay. Nice. I like the way the griddle, man. Griddle does a good job on those. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Let's let these go for just one more minute. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Well, if you got a scraper like this, it looks like cleanup of the griddle is going to be pretty darn easy. Huh? Just scrape it off like that. Come back later, scrape that up after it's cool, throw it in the trash, and then of course we got to clean our spatula. Let's see here. Yeah, those are good enough. Alrighty. There we go, friends. Turn the gas off. Sure. And close her up so the bugs don't get in. I don't like to flip the lid, the shelves in, because they're plastic. You want it to completely cool down before you flip those in. Alright. Time to go eat dinner. Alright, so the flare-ups we had on the hamburger last night really kind of didn't let us test out the griddle versus the grill all that well. And I'm still waiting on the other griddle to come from Amazon. But what I want to do today is this morning, I'm going to cook me some kielbasa. I got a couple eggs there that I want to fry on that griddle to see if they stick or not. And I'm going to be using this little spatula scraper that I got off of Amazon. Of course, I'll post the link so you can see this exact one. Alright, and also my little mini tongs. They're coated, so they're pretty handy. Okay, alright, so let's go ahead and we'll get the sausage going right over here on the grill side. Alright, and let's move these over here. And move the eggs over here on this side. Alright, so here's our eggs. I'm going to make them just fried eggs. And we'll let them cook for a minute. And I probably should have waited because I want to get this sausage cooked nice. And it's going to, well, no, it's actually cooking pretty quick. Alright, let's just let it go on that side. We'll flip it back over when I go to flip the eggs. But they don't appear to be sticking at all. Do they? Not at all. Alright, let's just close it for a minute. Let that temp build up. And usually what you see I did here was I like to lay a paper towel down so when I crack the eggs I got a place to put the shell. And then I can just take it and get rid of it, right? I still got a clean plate. Looking pretty good. I like my kielbasa grilled very nice. Probably what I'm going to do is move that over here to finish them off. But you can definitely, I can definitely smell it. It's cooking nicely. Alright, so probably about time to flip these eggs. What do you think about that? Huh? Is that non-stick enough for you? I would say so. That is beautiful. Beautiful. You couldn't ask for any better. So, not sure how much my sanding that griddle had to do with it, but if I was to guess, probably quite a bit, because that thing was pretty rough, and right now it is smooth like Teflon. But I don't have to worry, I can use metal utensils all day long because those are not Teflon coated or enamel coated. Alright, pretty nice. Sausage is looking nice. So here's what I do sometimes if I'm worried about the eggs getting overcooked. I'll go ahead and put those eggs up there, put my sausage here like this. I can put that sausage here like that. And then just, whoop, hold on. It's got nothing to do with the griddle. It's got to do with me not being able to hold it steady. And I just put my eggs up on top of the sausage for a minute, like that. And I don't have to worry about them overcooking quite as bad. A little bit of mess to clean up here, but that shouldn't be a problem. Let me just close it for a minute. Let that temp come up, and that should be done fairly soon. Alrighty, and I think that's gonna do it. So I got some nice sausage, perfectly cooked eggs. Pretty nice breakfast, huh? And look at that. I could just take a paper towel. I don't have one in with me. I should have brought one out. But I could just take a paper towel and clean that. I don't have to scrub it or anything. Right? No soap and water. So yeah, A+ for the griddle plate from Amazon. Once again, link will be at the comment section at the end of the video. Okay? Alright, so still up, we have the grill grates we're going to try out on this. Well, friends, it's pretty obvious that this grill that I got from Amazon worked very well. You saw how easy those eggs cooked on there, and I haven't even cleaned it yet. And it almost, like I said, you can basically just wipe that down with a paper towel once it cools off some. I've stuck the original grate back in here because I got another product I want to try out. Now these right here are grill grates, and they're all over the YouTube and everything. People have been reviewing them. They've been out for a long time. So if you want to learn more about grill grates themselves, you can check out some of those videos. But these I got from my Rectech Bullseye, and I just never really used it. I think I used this one once or twice, but that really didn't need them. That's more of a smoker, and these are more for grilling. But these two pieces here, I think if I just trim the corners, basically fill up this whole place. And I think you're supposed to use them on top of the original grates anyway. So I'm thinking maybe as another option, you can turn these over and you got this nice flat surface. Alright, so I want to find out if these cook better than those. So what I'm going to do is, since I've already used this one, I'm going to go ahead and re-season it and try to fry some hamburgers on this and some eggs to see if it does as good, better, or worse than the cast iron grates we got from Amazon. Alright, so next up, I got a couple hamburger patties and an egg, and as promised, we're going to use the back side of the grill grate here and see how it does in cooking. Now the idea here is that we don't have the flare-ups that we did. If you remember when I did the burgers with just the grates, we had a lot of flare-up and it was a major problem. Alright, and I'm also going to go ahead and put an egg down here. I'm going to set the camera down again for a second. Alright, and there is our egg on the grill grate. So let's see how that does. Alright, let's just shut it down for a minute or so. Let the temps come up. And hopefully we don't have that flare up on this grill grate, because that's what they are famous for, is getting rid of the flare ups and stuff. Now, while that's cooking for a second, let's look at that grill grate. So here's what it looks like from the side, as you can see. And this is the side that you would cook your steaks and stuff like that, that you want nice sear marks on. We're cooking on the flat side, using it like a flat top. So if it works out, I'll go ahead and cut these and use these for a flat top. And then tonight, I got a nice Delmonico steak that I'm going to cook on the sear side so we can see how well the sear works out. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, yeah, the egg's cooking fine. And, you know, I'm not one of those type that worry too much about flipping your burgers too much, but look at that. They do have a nice crust going on that side already, don't they? Let's see how this egg will turn. Okay. Now, it doesn't seem to be stuck. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Didn't stick at all. Alright, so the grill grate did work out pretty nice. Let's go ahead and shut the lid for a minute. Let the back side of those cook. You can see how quick the temperature comes up. I do have it on high right now. Okay, those are cooking along pretty nicely. Now what I might do is, the way this looks, I'm going to brown my buns down here, but if I trim it, I could have half a grill grate and half of these grates. So it would be the opposite of what I did with the griddle plate here, where I had it half this way and half that way. You know, with the grill grate, I could have it half that way and half this way and move my stuff back. So, we'll see. Really interested to see how the steak turns out tonight. But, I think either one of these options is a great option over the original grates. I think the best way to have it is to have multiple options with this one grill. And I think having the grill grates, the cast iron grate, and the original Weber grill grates that came with it is a good way to have the best of all worlds. You know, you can change them out as you need them. See how these burgers are doing. Oh yeah, they're browning nicely. All right, go ahead and take these off. Ooh, see, got a little bit of flare up, but that wasn't through the grill grate, was it? And that egg is still flipping very nicely. So I say these burgers are going to be nice. Put these right on there. One of them is going to get a nice egg on it. And I now have very nice lunch. And look at this. Pretty easy to clean. And what's nice about these is they are pretty light. If you want to bring them in and wash them in the sink, they're a lot easier to do than these original grates or these cast iron grates, because that weighs about twice as much as the grill grate. I'll weigh them out, put it in the comment section here in a little bit. All right, I'm gonna go eat my lunch, and hopefully my other griddle will be here from Amazon today. And then tonight we'll go ahead and cook a steak and potato on here and check that out. All right, but so far, success on the grill grates. So far, success on the cast iron plate we got from Amazon. All right, both for a definite improvement over the original Weber grates. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn that. Get a nice sear going on that. And you can hear that, huh? Well, that sounds pretty good. So I think the biggest advantage for me with these grill grates is the fact that it's going to control flare-ups. If this steak was on that grill right there, I'd have flare-ups like crazy. Also, I think these are going to be easier to clean than these grates here, and I probably just won't even be cooking on these. I'll probably cook on the grill grates, normal barbecue stuff like steaks and stuff like this. And so there's your nice grill marks. That is a good looking steak, huh? So I'll do that for my normal grilling, and then I will use my Amazon grill plates once I get the other one, and I can use that for eggs and bacon, pancakes, stuff like that, so that I don't have to cook inside my RV. And that's my goal. I just don't want to cook inside the RV. Alright friends, another minute. I'm going to pull that off and I'm going to go eat my dinner. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. And I'll come back and once I cut the plates and do that and get my other grill plate, do a little follow-up video with some more food, okay? Y'all be safe. There's one nice dinner right there, isn't it?